Hey guys, this is Brian, Topps Vintage 316. And normally I show baseball cards, but this time I'm going to have a few football cards since college football season has started. It's one sport that I watch a lot of, and my team happens to be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And I do have a small little collection of cards that I got for a set, basically a 1970s, 1990s set, excuse me. But basically I'll show you a few cards from that set. The first one is a few of the coaches they had that were well known in their careers that coached at Notre Dame. First one being Frank Leahy. He ended up with a career total of 107 wins, 13 losses for an 86.4% winning percentage, and majority of his losses basically were at Notre Dame. He lost 11 games there, although he won 87. But he is second only to Newt Rockne among his all-time college football coaches. So there's Mr. Frank Leahy. And the next guy here, Ara Parsegian. I remember watching him when I was growing up as a kid in the early 70s. And he coached in the NFL at first and ended up starting coaching at Notre Dame around 1964 through the 1974 season. And his overall college coaching record was 170 wins, 58 losses, and 6 ties. But again, he was quite a prolific coach. And Mr. Ara Parsegian. And then this guy we all know, he has a lisp. He's very famous for some quotes, I guess you'd say. But he had a lot of coaching, did a lot of coaching in a lot of different places. And started coaching at Notre Dame in 1986, and he won a championship with them there as well, and that's Mr. Lou Holtz. And now on to a few quarterbacks that made their name after leaving Notre Dame. This first one played in Notre Dame from 1980 to 1983, and his biggest, well, I guess not really his biggest triumph, but one of his triumphs was his Liberty Bowl triumph when they beat Boston College and Mr. Doug Flutie. And that quarterback at that time for Notre Dame was Mr. Blair Keel. This next quarterback had a good career with Notre Dame as well. He was there from 1960 to 1962, and he ended up playing 12 seasons of professional football. And he basically played the same time when Roger Staubach was playing for Navy. So they played against each other quite a bit. But he played 12 seasons in the NFL, 8 of those with the Raiders. And that's Mr. Darryl LaMonica. And then on to some old-timers here. Some guys that go back a little ways. This guy played from 1922 to 1924. Consensus All-American in 24, but he was also one of the immortal Four Horsemen and probably one of the fastest, they said. Basically back then he had a 10-second speed in the 100-yard dash, and he also ended up coaching the Irish from 1934 to 1940, and had a pretty good record, 47 wins, 13 losses, and 3 defeats. And his name was Elmer Layden. And there's a picture of him there. He was a wide receiver, I guess you'd say back then. And this guy here played defensive line, 64 to 67, and also was selected in the first round of the 1968 draft by the New Orleans Saints. He's a 3-star letterman basically in college. He played football, baseball, and basketball. And baseball, he led the Irish with a 398 average in 1967. And his name is Kevin Hardy. And then on to some other prolific players. I guess you'd say this guy here was a tight end, kind of the beginning of that position. But he was also a first-round choice in the Minnesota Vikings in 1965 and played 11 years as a pro, and also played for the Los Angeles Rams and was a star for them, basically. Played a lot of good years with them. And that's Mr. Jack Snow. And then this guy went on to have one of the most prolific careers ever from a Notre Dame as a quarterback. He was one of their low pickups, I guess you'd say. He sat the bench his first year, really. But as a junior, he got inserted into the Purdue game and never looked back after that. And he basically went on to be an All-American in college, went on to have an NFL career, as we all will know when we see his name, and become one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the NFL. And that's Mr. Joe Montana. Another good quarterback for Notre Dame also. Maybe one of the throwbacks to where he was a run first type quarterback, and instead of a throwing quarterback all the time. But he did win the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award as a top quarterback in the country. And he didn't really make it into the NFL. He went to the Canadian Football League, and he was in Notre Dame from 1987 to 1989. But I always liked watching this guy play too, Tony Rice. And then back to one of the Four Horsemen, very well known as Four Horsemen, I guess you'd say. But he was known as the Golden Boy, won the Heisman Trophy in 1956, and he played with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish from 1954 to 1956, and that's Mr. Paul Hornung. And then this other guy was a running back. He went on to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. And he also was with Notre Dame from 1964 to 1967. And his name is Mr. Rocky Bleier. And then another legend, I guess you call it. These are what called legend cards. But he had a great career as a tight end as well with Notre Dame. And he was part of the 1973 national championship team that beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. And his name is Mr. Dave Casper. And he went on to play with the Oakland Raiders. And then this guy here, known as the Rocket, won the 1990 Walter Camp Award and won the Heisman as well. Mr. Rocket Rahib Ishmael. And then a couple newer guys that we might know or may not know. Another tight end. And he was 6'5", 250 pounds, big guy. But he racked up 60 catches for 690 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Fighting Irish. Mr. Cole Kimmett. And then one of their better quarterbacks, one guy I really liked when he played with Notre Dame there. He didn't really stick too well with the NFL. He played a few years there, but he racked up some numbers with the Fighting Irish there. And that's Mr. Brady Quinn. That's his rookie card there. And then as far as that goes, I have a few autograph cards from a few of the other players, more recent players. Another tight end here, Mr. Kyle Rudolph, who's still in the league today. This running back came out a couple years ago from Notre Dame. He played in 2018, 19, and I'm not sure if he's still in the league or not, but running back Mr. Dexter Williams, I got his autograph card there. And then last but not least, a guy that some consider might go into the Hall of Fame. He was played in the back end and the secondary, played for the Minnesota Vikings for quite a few years. And that's Mr. Harrison Smith, and there's his autograph from 2022. So anyways, I just wanted to show something a little different here. I know it's college football season. There were some great games yesterday, Saturday, some big upsets and some big wins, but tonight I'm getting ready to watch my Irish play. So I just thought I'd show something a little different. Hope y'all like it. And like I always say at the end of my videos, collect like you're a kid.